Okay guys, today we're doing a brisket on the Weber 26, and I've got my coals in here. They're banked up against new coals. I've got my hot coals and then I've got the new coals. I've got my grate going this way in case I need to rake coals against the wall there. So we're fixing to put a brisket on here, and we'll be right back. Okay guys, we're here about to put this brisket on, and what I'm going to do, if you notice, I got this little gadget. I've had it for a while, but it helps to lift these grates out when they're hot, and just grab that grate like that. You can move it anywhere you want. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stick a piece of hickory on here, but I'm going to put it against, I'm going to bank it against the coals here, so that will be some smoke. And then what I'm going to do, I've got a little oven thermometer here. It's kind of smoked out a little bit. I've got an oven thermometer here. It's going to stick right over here, and that's going to help me make sure my temperature stays between 225 and 230, 235. It's okay to get to 250 once in a while, but I like to use this thing just to see where I'm at with my gauge. Sometimes this gauge, I don't know what's going on with this gauge, but the gauge is pretty accurate. I just like to have two thermometers going. Okay, so we got the brisket here. I'm going to lay it down on here. I've got my drip pan in here. Got just a little bit of water, and I'm going to leave my bottom vents open, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this top vent. Make sure your vents are coming out over the brisket, so that your air comes out, your smoke comes over the brisket the whole time. What I'm going to do, you can leave those bottom vents open. Just set it with this thing here. Halfway. Set it halfway, see what you come to. And if the heat gets too high, then you just shut it down even more. So right now we'll leave it halfway. And I'll try not to lift this lid, only just to check the coals. I think we got a good amount of time left where I have to check these coals. I'll probably be about 2.5 hours maybe before I check these coals again. So here we go, and you can already see the smoke coming out of here. I got the hickory in there. Everything is set up. So we'll be back to check on this, and see you soon. Okay, here we are, and we're at about the 3-hour mark, and I'm going to check this thing. I'm going to check the coals and check the wood. That's looking pretty good. We got a little bit of got some color to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check this wood and check the coals. See what we got. So coals look pretty good. Still got that piece of wood in there. Still got that wood in there. I'm gonna go ahead and leave that. The temperature's sitting at about 225. I think everything looks good. So we'll be back. Okay guys, we're at the 6-hour mark on this brisket. And what I'm gonna do, to the temperature, I may add some wood here. Add some wood. Move these coals a little bit. Shove this wood up against here. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a temperature on this thing, and I'll check the thicker half. This is about 153, 154, and this one in the flat about 157. So we've got 157 over here and 154 over here, so it's doing good. I've already turned it one time. When this thing hits about 160, 165, we're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna wrap it. Seems like the moisture is pretty good on it. And we'll be back. Okay, we're back, and I pulled this off. I've taken the temperature on it. I've got about 165 on the point up here, and right here on the flat, I'm at 168. So it pretty much cooked evenly. Yeah, about 165. And I've got about 160, 162 up over here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish wrapping this up. What I'm gonna do is I've got 2 pieces of foil here, and bring up my ends, and bring up my sides and my ends. Kind of want to, I make my foil kind of close to the meat, so that it doesn't mess up the bark. I've got a pretty good bark on it right now. All this is going to do is it's going to finish it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it to about 200 degrees, 204 degrees. I need to put one on top. So 204 degrees internal temp. And that'll be about another hour. This was a small brisket, so it didn't take that long. Okay. This was a small brisket, 9.5 pounds, so it didn't take that long. And my temperature pretty much stayed at about 225. It climbed to about 250 for about an hour there total time. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back on, and the next time I see you, this next segment will be us cutting it and checking it out. Okay, fellow cuers, we got a brisket. I took this off and I let it rest. Let it rest for a while. It's been about 4 or 5 hours now. Let it rest. These things stay hot for a long time, especially when they're in that full. But let's go ahead and cut it. And I've got what I like to do when I've got people coming is I slice it kind of thin on the flat. Okay. These you can do a brisket. You can do a brisket on these Webers, and it takes a little work. That's tender. Takes a little work. Look at that bark. That's nice. But you can do it, and like I say, keep your temperature 225, and put enough coals in there to keep it like that, and you can't lose. What I do when I have these things done is I usually put it in a foil pan, and see, that's good stuff. And see, you can actually pull that. Got some fat on top of there, but and it's gonna be good too. I'm gonna taste this. That's good. What I do is I stick in this pan like this, and this is a select brisket, and it was cooked at 204. I cooked it to about 204 degrees internal temperature, and it came out pretty good. It's got good flavor. I use nothing but hickory. I usually mix hickory with pecan, but this time just hickory. This is good. So what I do is I'll keep slicing it. What you do when you get to about more than halfway, when your pieces start looking like this, they have this is the grain going, this is against the grain, and this is going with the grain. Well, that's when you can start cutting into your brisket the other way. And what I do, since this is a small brisket, I'm gonna go this way with it. And what I want to do, if this is a long piece like this, all these briskets are different. I'll cut it in half like that. So I started off like this, and this right here, cut it in half. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cut. I don't know if you can tell what I'm doing. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cut like this. I'll cut it all up like this. Okay, so really actually I'm going, and since this is the point, I'm trying to show you I'm trying to cut it at a different angle just to show you. you get pieces like this, short, and that way when people get into the brisket, they can grab a couple of pieces like this. Okay, so what you want to do is you just want to keep cutting it, cut it all up. The point, you can cut thicker than the flat. If you've cooked it right, it's not falling apart on you. And if we look at the these pieces here, like I say, if you've cooked it right, see, tender. Okay, this is the hardest part to get tender right here. Is this point? Sometimes that collagen doesn't break down in there, which is actually what happened when I was cooking it. It got stuck on 160 at that 6-hour point. I didn't realize that till after I cut the camera off, but this thing got stuck. Sometimes these briskets get stuck at about 160, 165, and that's when you can either keep going and put too much smoke on them, or you can wrap them up and finish them off with foil or paper, butcher paper. I don't use butcher paper, but you can. That's another technique. That's another technique I can show you later too. See, that's the point falling apart right there. See, so that's cooked right. That's going to be tender. People taste it. You got the smoke ring. You got a good smoke ring on there. Good stuff. But that's what I do, and that's how you do these briskets. And if you have any questions or anything, let me know. And I'm sorry it took so long. I don't know how to do these videos. This is probably the third one I've done on brisket, but still haven't gotten it down. But I apologize. And any questions or anything, let me know on my channel, and I'll be glad to help you. Sorry this was so sloppy and took so long, but we'll see you next time, and I'll put out more videos for you to enjoy. Thank you guys.